Hello and welcome to the Total Woman Show. I'm your host, Dr. Barbie Young, and I'm here today with my guest and co-host, Coach Allison. You know, on our last show, we learned that Coach Allison gained tremendous self-awareness through her cancer battle and subsequent transformation. You know, she and I talked about this tremendous, encouraging motivation that she had to fight for her life. And I know that the viewers benefited from hearing her amazing journey of recovery. And today, we're going to talk about the after and how she went to school, learned about integrative nutrition, actually and changed her whole career path, and her practice and expertise as a health coach, certified in integrative nutrition and corporate wellness. Now, for those of you who might be new to the show today and you didn't hear our previous shows, I just want to tell you that Coach Allison today helps many people who are able to take better care of themselves and to help them have an optimal life through her work for health and happiness. She was born in Seoul, South Korea, came to the United States to Brigham Young University with her dad, who was a professor, and grew up in Utah. She is a dedicated Christian and Mormon, and I am so happy that she is a co-host on my show, The Total Woman Show. So today, Coach Allison, we're going to talk about what happened next and what you're doing now, because truly that was such an informative journey. And again, I want to applaud you because of your courage and the conviction that there was something more for you, that you reached out and you grasped it and you took hold of it, but you did something more. You went back to school. So share a little bit about that journey, the schooling and that what you did. What led you to be where you are now?
Yeah. Well, the word that you grasp, that's a good word that I would use as well, because actually when I was trying to figure out how to be healthier and figure out, well, how did I get sick and how do I heal from this and how do I prevent it from happening again? I mean, I had a lot of questions like that. But the answers didn't come easily for me. I mean, because there were a lot of confusing information out there and everybody had different conflicting ideas.
Right.
Completely opposite, you know, and I was a little lost at first. But what I got to grasp at that time was, I mean, literally, one day it dawned on me. Because, I mean, I was reflecting on my life before cancer, and I endured a lot of pain. You know, when you work that much and always trying to, and I loved engineering, don't get me wrong, that's why I was able to work so hard for so long. But, you know, working hard and playing hard, and there are a lot of stress and burnout that comes with that.
Oh, yes.
And a lot of expectations and stuff like that. And I endured a lot of pain. And I was very blessed with that endurance. And I was always very grateful for that. And that was the reason why I was able to accomplish many great things that I'm very proud of. But this one day I was on chemo and I was very, very sick that day, and literally just dawned on me that I wasn't enduring. All those times when I thought I was enduring,
What were you doing?
I was merely suppressing.
Okay.
I mean, literally it hit me. And then I thought, do I even know what endurance feels like? And I thought, I guess not, because I've only done it once, one way, and that's suppression, right? And I went back to school to study holistic health. And integrative nutrition means not just the nutrition that you eat, but everything that fuels you as a person, as a whole being. Okay. So it's about relationships, your finances, your creativity. Do you have an outlet? And it's all those things affect the health and well-being.
And this is so we're a totally integrated human being. So all parts have to be in balance.
Yes, exactly.
If one part is out of balance, then the whole machinery doesn't work properly as it's supposed to.
And so when I realized that I needed to learn to endure and not suppress anymore, and that's when I realized that suppression was probably what got me sick. When you suppress, your body knows that. Your body responds.
Yeah.
Can I ask you this question?
Yeah.
Not to interrupt you, but do you think maybe the suppression was a part of a cultural thing?
It may have been.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of expectations as to what I would accomplish and how well I would do them. And I come from a culture where scholars are highly respected.
That's what I was getting
And
at.
my parents are both
Educators,
Right.
and my dad got his PhD in America, and back then that was very rare. And so, yeah, I was definitely expected to excel at school and whatever else that I would pursue.
Now, one of the things too I'm intrigued about this is that because I know from cultural perspectives how people will follow the footsteps of their parents because that's the expectation for you.
Yeah.
You were expected to be smart. You were expected to pursue a career that would bring a quality of life. Were you really interested in civil engineering?
Oh yeah.
I want to clarify.
Actually, there were other things that my dad wanted me to go into, and I did not.
Okay.
Because I always loved math and science.
Okay.
And I've always loved engineering. I do not have a doctorate though. I have a master's degree.
That's all right.
And but expectations were different that time. And but I was very happy with what I did and what I was doing at the time. But when I figured out that I needed to learn to endure, that was about healing from inside out. Not so recovery, beating cancer actually became secondary.
Okay.
Because and that's where the self-awareness comes in.
That's
because
right.
I really needed to figure out why am I suppressing?
Right.
What am I really suppressing for? And where am I going with that?
Right.
And but learning about my whole being and the holistic approach of my well-being and how I am doing as a person, that really made sense to me because we're more than just the sum of our parts.
Right.
Right. And people who say they're successful in professional life, but not so much in the personal life. You're the same person. No matter where you think your successes are, where you think you're failure. Well, I don't want to say failure. There are lessons that you learn from that,
Right.
but the things that you didn't get to accomplish the way you want to, but you learned
Lessons from that.
then you have to count the whole experience as a whole being. And learning about holistic health made sense to me. And so when I tell people that I'm a health and lifestyle coach, the number one question that I always get from people is, so what am I supposed to eat? I don't even know what to eat. Because
You see the headlines.
Yes.
Okay, eggs are good.
Yes.
Eggs are not good.
Right.
Dairy is good. Dairy is not good.
Yeah, I always wondered why not to eat bananas. Some
Yeah.
people say don't eat bananas, so I love
I
to
eat
eat
bananas. And then they think, well,
okay, this cereal box says vitamin fortified, so that must be good for me, And that's usually where people get their information. And food is a lifestyle choice that you make throughout the day, every day of your life. And if you have questions about those things, you need to be informed, and that's one of the things that I coach people with. But really, it's not just about what you eat; it's about what's eating you.
yes.
So talking about healing from inside out again,
Right.
and really knowing where you need to heal. And so, and going back to my very intense life in the fast lane in the corporate world, the focus of my practice, health coaching practice, is life-work balance and burnout prevention.
We don't say work-life balance, we say life-work balance.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Sometimes people ask me, if it's balanced, does it matter which order? Yeah, it does, because even just the fact that we are talking about it implies absence of that balance. So, got to start with their mentality, life first, and then work. And I'm not talking about, you can go out and play somewhere else so you can have your life and slack off at work. It's not about that. It's about taking care of yourself first, so you can be at your best in everything you do.
And do we have a society that really promotes that?
not right now.
No.
Because
we live in a world that has forgotten how to take care of ourselves. And it's very difficult, and that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I have so much to share. And this is a lesson that I nearly lost my life for.
You know, I want to get back to that too, because it's very interesting that you're in civil engineering, you're in the corporate world, you have this bout with cancer, which allows you to go within and to start that search. But then you made that search a journey into integrative, what I call nutrition or nutrition, you know, and being able to maybe make that in a circular way to which is what I'm picking up, that it's about me. And so what do you want to say to people about life-work balance? And what are you teaching them from your experiences that you've learned?
Well, one lesson that I learned is that when your body is done, you're done. Okay?
Okay,
So
when your body is done, you're done. Okay.
I know that may sound funny, but it's true.
Well, I hope I have a little more body.
Yeah, I mean, you need to take care of your body. I would take care of yourself first.
Yeah.
And you have so much to offer. Everybody has so much to offer to the world, and they may not realize that sometimes, depending on where they feel.
In their progress.
Coach Allison, don't you get people asking all the time about, putting myself first, but I got my husband, I have my kids. I mean, I run into so many women, and the last person they think about is themselves. And I'm always saying you need to fill your own cup first. If you have an empty cup, you can't pour anything to anybody else. But that message doesn't seem to get across. What do you think is going on?
In my coaching, see, those things make sense on paper. Right? Logically, it makes sense. Yeah, of course, I have to be well first so that I can help other people be well, right? But that's why I have to go a little deeper in my coaching.
Okay.
So I would ask them questions about, some things that they may think are unrelated to, the priorities to take care of themselves, okay? I may start out with questions like, how do you feel about your clothes? Okay, and they're fine, I put them on, and it's like, well, how do you feel about your clothes though? I mean, do you like them? Do you like the way you look in them? How do you feel about yourself in your presentation? And where does that come from? And where are you on your list? Where are you on that scale of 1 to 10 as to where you think you want to be and where you are now? Is there a gap between your reality and expectation? And how much are you enduring? How much are you suppressing? Because when I tell people about life-work balance, it doesn't always ring a bell as to what that really is.
No,
but
for sure.
But
I also share life-work balance really is about balance between endurance and suppression. Okay. And some people who feel better being at work may feel that they're enduring more at work, but they have a very difficult marriage at home, then they're suppressing more at home.
Yes.
so
How about people who go to work to escape home? Escape home.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what you're
Yeah. And some of those choices or some of their mentality breaks their spirits, their own spirits. And you have to go a little deeper about, okay, so where did this start, or where does this come from? And and I see a lot of young mothers as well, and when I say life-work balance, work doesn't necessarily mean for pay.
Right.
I mean, young mothers work harder than anyone else, and they don't get paid, right? Unfortunately. And so everybody else is more important than their own needs, right? And I explained to them though, well, when did that start though? Were you always that way? And then there usually is an experience that has changed their view about their own needs and why those are not as important as somebody else's, and why they would rather just be hurt themselves than to hurt other people. Right? They don't want to offend.
Yeah,
So if somebody says something really stupid and upsets them, but they don't want to say anything back because that might upset them.
so they just hold it in.
So that's suppressing.
Yeah, that's a suppression.
Okay.
And
there's
Now, what about endurance? You know, like you're enduring. You're in a situation, and let's put it in a work situation, and constantly every day you're being beaten down, your ideas are being put down, or you're being put down as an individual, but it's a job, and you need that job. Because you've got a quality of life to maintain, or it could be a husband, you've got wife and family. That's endurance. So what does that lead to? Endurance and then suppression.
Well, endurance and suppression may feel slightly different to each person. I mean, what something that may feel like endurance to me may not be so much for somebody else. I mean, it may feel like suppression. And when you're enduring, knowing that there's a greater goal of paying your bills and supporting your family, and that's why you go and deal with the difficulties at work, yeah, that's endurance. But the mentality, it's all in the mentality, because endurance and suppression can appear very similar in the beginning.
Okay.
But for me, one good sign of suppression is when you're replacing the pain with action.
So could we say medicate? Not necessarily describe, it could be medication.
yeah,
I mean, when I say medicate, through food, through drugs,
Exactly.
through alcohol, I mean.
exactly.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if there's a void and you're trying to fill that void with something else, or a distraction, or whatever you choose to do, then yeah, that's.
So what do you tell people in terms of, you know, your coaching as to how they can overcome some of these issues? First, you give them a questionnaire to ask them about their clothes. What do you think about your clothes? What do you think? You ask them some questions to get their responses. Then where do you take them?
I help them see that there are all these different aspects of their lives, right? And we're very complex beings. I mean, none of us are just one-dimensional with one thing in mind, right?
You need to tell them we're not simple. I thought we were just simple.
Not quite. There are many different facets, you know, in life, and they're all connected. And I help them connect the dots, and their denial for their own needs may come from a surprising source.
Oh. Is there something subconscious that they weren't even aware of?
Exactly. A lot of cases it's like that, and sometimes it's, you know, something that somebody said to them when they were young, and they didn't even realize that was what it was, but that's how they always saw themselves because somebody else saw that. But the fact is, when something like that happens, when somebody treats you badly, I guess, that's because someone else did it to them first.
Okay.
So it's someone who is suffering first as well. They are not handling it well, so they're inducing that suffering to somebody else, and so the chain reaction kind of continues, and we want
They call it breaking the cycle or breaking the chain, right? Okay.
With
self-awareness. And so I help them, you know, see it as they were hurting too. Does not mean that they can continue to do that to me, but I can move on, because it had nothing to do with me, but it had more to do with how they saw themselves. Because I'm telling you, anybody who knows who they are and happy with their lives,
treat other people better.
Well, you know, one of the taglines I used to say is that hurting people hurt other people.
Yeah.
And so sometimes when you see people who are acting out because they need love the most, they don't know how to get it.
Yeah.
And maybe because the old script
Yeah.
when they were young, they weren't loved, but they acted out and they would get attention.
Yeah.
And I see this played out in so many adult lives, particularly in the
Yeah.
work arena.
Yeah.
and especially the overachievers that I work with, you know, who work so hard and they give everything they have to whatever that they're doing. There's a lot of pain involved in that lifestyle.
I identify with that so much. It's so much the only life I do.
For a long time, and I just kind of have to, help them dig a little deeper. Where does this drive come from? Is it just purely expectation? Or is it because what are you trying to prove? Or to whom? Or do you just want to prove it to yourself? Or is it because of your responsibility? Or is it, what is it? And is it an escape? There can be many reasons why.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, and so, it's.
Have you seen, in your coaching, have you seen more men with, coming to you for help or more women? And you start looking at gender differences.
Well, half and half, really. I mean, but their questions are very different.
Okay.
And what the answers that they, I guess the way they interpret my recommendations is different.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So there are gender differences in the way they interpret.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because,
Because
for example.
Well, for example, I am a coach. Okay, I always let people know I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, and I must stay within my scope of my expertise. I don't, and if it's more severe than that, I would refer them to other professionals. And
On Kindle right now.
Okay.
That's why I just have a piece of paper. to
Coach
show you.
Allison's
But-
Guide to Life-Work Balance and Burnout Prevention.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
So,
so it says the subtitle is When the Lifestyle Demands More Than What's Humanly Possible. A lot of us have
A lot of moms are living a lifestyle.
Yeah, and you know who you are, the super moms, the super workers, and the super execs.
I know a few.
Yeah, and so I have another book coming out.
with sugar.
Okay,
And I also
that's
have,
very intriguing.
yeah.
I mean, because so many people have a relationship with sugar.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
sugar daddy. No, I'm just teasing.
Yeah.
But that's going to be
Yeah.
very provocative.
Yes.
And you know what, Coach Allison, we're going to talk about that on our Total Woman show that's going to be coming up with all of us, the co-hosts. And we'll have a chance to get more in depth
Yes.
with talking about your book, talking about life-work balance, and some of the things we're going to be able to share that.
Yeah.
But I just can't thank you enough for sharing your personal journey and all the things that have made you who you are, this spectacular human being that has so much to give and such a sensitive heart. And I can just see that.
Well, thank you.
And I mean that sincerely too.
Thank you.
And to share and to be so authentic, because truly, cancer, as we know, is a big issue. There are other areas, but I can't think of anything more traumatic than cancer, because most people will think it's a death sentence. But for you, you turned it around and made it a life sentence.
I did. And I've been so blessed. I've been so blessed with that. It has been such a gift, and it's a miraculous gift. And because it's a tough battle, and not everybody survives. And even when I tell people about food and how your body reacts quickly to food, and you can start healing quickly, some people tell me, well, then I don't have to change now. I'll just change when I get sick.
Oh,
Well, look at you, you're doing well, so I'll change like you did, And the first time I heard that, I actually cried, because it upset me so much. I was like, I've been to hell and back. How dare you tell me that you're gonna wait?
Yeah.
But of course, I was like, okay, it's his life. I can't make him do anything that he doesn't want. But I have a lot to share, and also with my online program that I brought here. It's a 6-month coaching program with 26 weekly modules, and I'm getting a lot of people who can, because it's online. I mean, it's global,
And it's easy
right?
for people to access.
I can reach a lot of people. I have support forums and stuff like that. So I'm reaching a lot of people with that, and I'm very excited about it. And I feel that this is the reason why my life was spared. It's my mission and my responsibility.
I can't thank you enough
Oh, thank
for
you.
sharing and
Thank you
really
for having
for
me.
being a co-host on the Total
Yay!
Woman Show.
Yay! We're gonna rock it.
Yeah, we're gonna rock it.
Yes, we are.
And so, just for viewers out there, I want to commend you, and I want you to pay attention when we bring the full group of my co-hosts on the Total Woman Show. So be on the lookout for our show, because we have a lot. We're actually going to talk about a lot of provocative topics. The poker chip theory of self-concept. We're going to talk about leadership and development. We're going to talk about life-work balance. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
And so we're just going to have a great time. So, Coach Allison, thank you again for
Thank
being
you. Thank you for
here
having me.
today.
Great.
This has
Thank
been
you.
wonderful.
Yeah.
So I want to say to you viewers out there, keep listening, or I should say keep viewing, and also I want you to listen out for my radio talk show, which is Transformation for Success. So be sure on the Empowerment and Women's Channel on Transformation for Success, voiceamerica.com. So don't forget, and I look forward to having you call or talk or send letters in to Dr. V at transformationsuccesstv.com. Be blessed.